Hello everyone, this is the video you've all been waiting for, our solar show and tell.
Here we go. So we've mentioned little bits and pieces of what we got, but we're going to explain
Put it all together for you.
what we got and show it to you as well.
Yeah, and we're going to do the selfie style, which is a little bit different, so I hope it comes across nice.
Yes.
So right behind us actually are our monitors. And these guys help us determine exactly how much solar we're bringing in, how much solar we have brought in throughout the day, and we can reset different metrics, and lets us monitor our entire solar charger and inverter charger and all that good stuff right here next to the bathroom.
Yes. So we decided to do it here. We told them we could care less where it was, as long as it was like eye level. And so originally we were thinking maybe on the other side of the fridge where the thermostat is, or where our other monitor is over by the stove. But this was actually a really convenient spot for them. And I actually think it works out really well. And it makes it so that it's easy for us to go and see it no matter what. So we have our inverter up on top, which is our charger inverter. We don't actually look at that much except to see how much we're bringing out, and when we're charging how much we're bringing in. But in general, we keep an eye on this guy because he is the most accurate. This is the one that measures total in, total out of the battery. And we're not going to go into all the screens on any of this, but we just wanted to show you that it's right here and it's really handy for us.
So up on top of our Airstream, let's talk about the solar panels for a minute. We have 5 solar panels, 3 on this side, the curb side, and then 2 on the street side.
Yes.
And we have AM Solar's SF100, which are the larger 100 watt solar panels.
So they're a little less efficient than the SPs, I believe.
SPs are smaller,
and therefore more efficient.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes them.
Yeah,
more efficient,
they still bring in 100 watts, but they're smaller panels that bring in 100 watts. So that's what makes them more efficient, more expensive. We didn't go that route because even with these larger 100 panels we can still fit 3 more, which we're probably not going to do anyway.
Though the 3 more that we'd fit would probably be SPs. So we went with the 5 SFs. That's what SFs?
SFs, yes.
Because they fit fine, and that way we can save a little bit of money, and then if we ever decide to upgrade, we can get a couple more SPs, and later they would fit great. So they're mounted using the normal AM Solar cool rocker feet design. There are no holes in our roof.
Yes, they have a little sticky adhesive that they put below every single one of the mount points for each panel.
Super sticky.
And then there's additional sealant on top of each mount as well.
They
this
said that
really
stuff's not
thick
coming off.
White sealant, and you'll see it in some of the video. Yeah. You'll have to. I mean, you almost need the jaws of life or a very strong chemical to bring those up.
Yeah. And the panels do tilt. You can tilt them.
They do.
We got 1 tilt bar, really just to maybe play with tilting, and if we need to clean under the panels for any reason. But the option is available. We'll get more tilt bars if we're ever, again, stationary someplace for a while and would like to tilt to get more solar.
And we'll probably try that here, because here in Arizona the sun is a little bit lower in the horizon now because it is winter.
Yeah.
So
we might try tilting 1 panel for a bit.
Just to see what kind of difference it makes.
Yeah.
We hear it could be pretty significant, so we'll probably try that.
Yeah. They wired the roof so that it can support up to 800 watts one day. And then all the wires, like most Airstreams, were run down into the refrigerator vent.
The refrigerator vent, yes.
And so this actually ends up being a really nice place for the monitors because of the fact that wires are running back and forth. Everything else is under the couch. So that is where all of our actual components are. We talked about this a little bit. Many of the newer Airstreams have a battery box on the outside right behind the propane. And
2 battery boxes. Oh, you mean
behind.
The black?
Most of the new Airstreams have a battery box there. And they were thinking that that's what we had, and that they could use that and expand it and make it fit new batteries. Well, that's not a battery box. That our Airstream was not built that way. That's just a little storage compartment. 1 battery wasn't even going to really fit in there. So that wasn't going to work. So option 2 for us for batteries was the 2 little hatches on the front of the Airstream. That's where our original, pretty much car batteries were. We thought, well, maybe we could use that. No, not going to fit the new AGM batteries we wanted either. So we knew we had to go under the couch. And I pretty much said, you can take any of my storage under the couch in order to do this. I was being the martyr and giving up my storage. They didn't have to take any. They kept the entire drawer. So they put the batteries, which we got 4 AGM Lifeline.
Yes, 4 AGM Lifeline batteries that add up to 440 amp hours.
Yes.
So that essentially means, since you can only use 50% of these AGMs, 220 amp hours we actually get to use.
Yes.
And they are right underneath the couch, like right in the center. In fact, let's show you this. Well, here is our couch, and we got 4 Lifeline batteries pretty much right in the center of the couch here.
Yep.
And
behind the drawer.
Yes. And on this side of the couch, we have our 1000 watt Magnum Pure Sine inverter, and that's what actually allows us to keep our outlets hot.
Yes.
While we're not plugged in.
So before we get to that, because there's some things we want to talk about for that, the batteries. A lot of people asked why we didn't go for lithium.
Well, lithium is super expensive.
Yes, it is getting cheaper every year.
Yeah, they are clearly better batteries. We certainly do not discount that.
No, and they actually are, as AM Solar told us, they actually are a better price per amp hour than AGMs. Because of what you get with lithium, the fact that you can use 80% and they last for a lot longer and everything else like that. They are actually cheaper per amp hour, a better solution per amp hour than AGMs. But...
And you can use 80% of a lithium battery, whereas with our AGMs, like I said, you can only use about 50%. So you can use more of your lithium battery. However, even said that, and they're lighter, by the way. Yeah. Lithium batteries are significantly lighter, so that's yet another advantage.
Yes.
The problem is, it would have added about $4,000 to our install.
Yes.
And lithium batteries keep coming down in price every year. So really, it just wasn't worth it for us at this stage.
Now, if we were trying, this is why it's getting into the inverter. If we were trying to run things when we're boondocking that required more power, such as a microwave or an AC, lithium probably would have been the way we went in order to get enough battery capacity to do that. So we only got a 1000 watt sine wave inverter used.
Pure sine inverter.
Because the only things we plan on doing, and actually the only things wired to that inverter, are our outlets. So we plan on charging computers, maybe using a monitor, and charging batteries.
Yep.
We're not going to be using a microwave. We're not going to be using a convection oven. We're not going to be
not
using
the
an
AC. Yeah.
That is not in our plans at all for the future. And so if we had wanted more than the battery capacity that we got, any more really, I think we would have had to go with lithium in order to keep our weight down and to make it feasible for an Airstream.
Yeah, because our needs are small, and we want our needs to be small. We we could have gotten a 2000, 3000 pure sine inverter, and those things are really powerful. You can run a lot on them.
And you can do things like hook up with the generator and the battery and start an AC, or the same thing with shore power. There's all sorts of things you can do so that you can actually use your batteries to power an AC. Mm-hmm. But we don't need to do that.
Yeah, and we don't want to be able to do that, because if we are, we might actually do it. So with our 1000, that will keep our our cameras, our computers charged, our monitor, even our big external monitor, we can even run with everything else on this little 1000 watt pure sine inverter. So it really takes care of everything we need it to, without allowing us to go maybe a little bit overboard, especially while we're boondocking and we want our batteries to last.
Yes. And we don't keep our inverter on all the time. In fact, I'm kind of the inverter
queen.
No, queen is the wrong way. Police. Making sure that unless it actually needs to be on for some reason, it's off. We keep it off all night. It has to be a deliberate choice to turn it on, and I don't even like leaving the Airstream when it's on, because really the only reason it should be on is to charge something, if it needs charging, and to run our external monitor if Steve's doing video editing. So that's another reason why a 1000 was perfect for us, because we're seriously only going to turn it on when we need it and then turn it back off, and keep our power draw to the absolute minimum. So the other things that I think Steve is going to show you are all of the components under the couch, which they managed to fit into the same little area that our old components were in. Mm-hmm. And they did really cool things. We're not going to go into all of them, but things like a shutoff between the panels and the inverter.
It's this big charger, red button, so you can't miss it.
Yeah,
it's right there. And you just give it a turn, and your solar panels just go dormant, basically.
There's another one coming out of the charger, mm-hmm. And then there's like a fail-safe to switch off as well. There's lots of different things that you can do to turn things off for storage and things like that. We probably
won't use those too much.
No, we have instructions on how to use them if we need to, but since we don't plan to put the Airstream in storage really ever, and live in it full time, we probably won't need to do that.
Yep.
So, is there anything else we need to show? Oh, did you show them the external hatch with our portable panel plug?
Oh, no, I did not do that.
We should show you that.
Yes, let's do that right now.
Is it unlocked?
Probably not.
This one is completely sealed off. Super sealed, which is actually really nice, because what we didn't know is that we were getting water in through that panel. And they probably have been for years. There was all sorts of water damage under the couch. Not like to the subfloor, just enough on the carpet that you could tell. So since we're not using this anymore, they sealed this super duper good for us so that we don't have to worry about all that water splashing into the Airstream anymore. They also sealed up this compartment, but this one has a purpose. So in this one, if you can look in there, it is completely sealed. You can't get to the inside of the Airstream. But what is here, this is actually a smart plug. This goes right into our charger. This would attach to a portable solar panel. So we now have an easy plug and play option for a portable solar panel. So we can go from having 500 watts only to having something like 720 watts when we get a portable solar panel. And that way, if we're in shade or something, we can take this, have this be long enough when we connect it to the panel when we get it, and put it wherever we need to be to get a good amount of solar even in those situations. So that is a really cool tip. They gave us this little piece to connect to our portable panel when we eventually buy it. Since we're stationary right now, we don't need it, but I think that's really cool. Instead of having to try to get it to the batteries, we still can get everything through the charger and still see the total in and out of the whole system, even with the portable panel. Well, I think that's it. We're not going to go into the super duper details, first off, because we're not those kind of people.
And we don't want this video to be too boring either.
Well, no, some people really like that stuff, and that's good for them, but we are the type of people who will deep dive into the things that are really super cool for us, and eventually we're starting to learn the solar system, and we're starting to get ideas, but we're not the type that needs to know every detail on every piece of equipment, and so we honestly didn't ask. They gave us all that information so that we could figure it out later.
We have it all written down.
But we are not the type to sit there and read through and memorize everything. So it works great. Super great job. Everything fits. Can't see any wires. Super great location for every component.
Yeah, we didn't lose any storage, and we have...
Making our own power.
Which is really, really cool.
It is really cool. We're loving it.
We're super happy.
So if you have any questions that we didn't answer, we can try to answer them. So let us know in the comments below. Hopefully this was enough of a show and tell that this is what people wanted to see, where everything was and how it was all set up and why we chose what we chose. Yep. And that's it for our solar series for now. And we'll give you an update about how it's all working for us.
That's it. So comment, subscribe, like this video. If you liked it. If you didn't like it, I guess you won't, which is okay, which kind of makes us sad, but no, that's okay. And will we see them next time?
We will see them next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.